Back with Cherrybombrs and Beetle. And when your powers combined, do you have like a cutesy couple's nickname like Cherry Beetle or Chibi? Or oh, whoa, it should be Chibi. That's it's so cute. You two are the cutest.
We
It
have to
did.
coin that.
Whatever you want to do, of course. But you're back. You're the premier fans of Suda51's work. Beetle, incredible artist. Folks are wearing your shirts that you made for MomoCon last year, was it? All the time. I see them. The superfans are still wearing them. There's didn't sell so much that you became a rich woman. I wish it had, but the
It's
people who like them still wear them all the time, and it's great. And Cherry, you're number one Travis
Really?
Touchdown fan, once wanting to be Travis's girlfriend. Would you still be Travis's girlfriend? How do you feel about that now at this point?
We're moving to wife status.
Wow.
We're moving to wife status. I think enough time has passed, and I think it's about time I need to stake my claim.
That's wonderful for you to commit to the bit
Izzy as
and
well.
to the man. Is he's also marrying him? What's happening? Are you
All of
marrying?
us, all of us, all
Wow.
all three of us. Yep.
What a wild ride. To say that he would feel left out though, due to both of you having such like sweet social skills and fun, he would just be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He'd be so puzzled in that throuple. And yet, he's so cute. It would be fine, I think. I think you would let it slide for Travis, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
But what about this Romeo is a Dead Man? New video game-ish, not on physical yet, so a lot of people haven't bought it. They're waiting for the physical edition. And
Hmm.
it is, from what I can tell, the fandom talked a whole lot about it for a little amount of time. And then lately, I haven't seen much tell of it. What do you think of it at this point after you've had a little time to chew on it? The initial announcement, very exciting. And then the game itself, Suda announced like, "Hey, it's like a fuck up in school. It's got some
Mm.
problems, but I hope you enjoy it." Like it was the wildest PR spin I'd ever seen. Did you think it was a schoolyard fuck up, or was it a sweet treat, or both?
I wouldn't even know where to really begin with that, but I remember, at least for me personally, like the months before the game was to be released, it was like I saw so many polarizing takes on it. I
Mm.
saw people that were like on the fence about it. I know Izzy had some thoughts on it, so
Hmm.
I'll let her get into that. But for me, it was like I saw people say, "Oh, I don't want this to be like Suda games if it was the MCU,"
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember
because
hearing that too.
everybody was starting to jump in from previous series, and we were like, I don't know about that, but I don't know. Once I got my hands on it, I was satisfied. There was like, I mean, with any game, you're gonna have some things that you're not too crazy about, but
Sure.
I mean, I was left tickled about it. I
Well,
was
real
okay with
quick,
it.
to set the stage a little bit, do you remember the first really like weird video game you played? Because most of us grew up on the games that are most accessible, the games that are either free or the games that are
Hmm.
everyone else is talking about. And Suda and Grasshopper is generally off the beaten path. There, once
Yeah.
you say you're a super fan of Suda, you've probably delved into weirder stuff. And Romeo's
Hmm.
Dead Man is pretty weird, I think. But not that weird compared to other Suda games. I think some people were worried it was actually a little too normal because it's got Rick and Morty style jokes, and it's got zombies, and it's got Judd Nelson, who most people don't know who he is, but he used to be a big name movie
Hmm.
star. Did you feel like this game wasn't as weird, and did it not match up with the weird games you generally like, or is the weirdness not really a factor for you?
the whole thing with Romeo is that they had to self-publish it. So I'm not
Mm,
surprised that it's not as like niche as their like older titles, especially.
hmm
But I still think it's like palatable, and it's definitely a game that
Hmm.
still like if you like these games, you'll still like it.
hmm
If you like it as much
Yeah.
as the older ones, if like those are your bread and butter, no, maybe so. I don't know. But
Sure.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad grasshopper game that's like super, super normal. I think it's still like it's
Hmm.
it's not a like normal game. There's still weird stuff in it. Like I like what they've done in the game a lot.
Yeah.
Well, what makes it stand out, would you say? What makes it a game that if you think you're on to Grasshopper and you know their style of weird and now it's normal to you, what makes this one different from some of the other Grasshopper games that were a hit?
I feel like it's gotta
Hmm.
be, it feels like a good evolution with what they were doing with three, where they had all these different like art styles.
Mm,
And they kind of like, I feel like it's more fully realized here. Not
Yeah.
to say like three's bad on that end at all. It's absolutely not. It's great. Like I love what they did there. But I do feel like this is more like polished in that end.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a game that, from what I am guessing, based on having talked with Suda, not about the game, it was so frustrating when I was at MomoCon with him last year. They're like, we can't tell you anything about the game, but we're going to
Oh,
announce it like next week. I'm like, what? But it's because that was getting announced at the Sony State of Play,
yeah.
Yes.
and that was like extremely under wraps because Sony was deciding when they got to announce it, essentially.
Mm.
They showed me a little bit, but I couldn't say a word. Um, but I got to hang out with Suda in a way, and James Mountain more than Suda, his head localizer and translator, interpreter. And I got to see that when they first were working with NetEase, they were like, NetEase, yeah, money in the bank. Who wants sandwiches? Like, and they were all about it. And then the second year, they were like, NetEase, I I don't know if this is even funded by them anymore. They're not giving us any more money. So essentially, their dreams for the game started off big, and then at the last minute, I think they kind of had to wrap it up. I'm not sure if all of it took place on like a pixel art ship initially. I
It
think
did
Mm.
not.
no, you know about this. Tell me more.
I yeah, because I think we talked about it in interviews with him, and it was mentioned that like, oh, they were gonna probably go for an open world thing, a la, of course, No More Heroes, and then they scaled it back. I
Yeah.
like that they did that because again, the pixel art is fantastic, but I love digging into games. I love looking at the files, and there's just models of the last night in the game. There's models of all the NPCs that are still there, and it's
Oh
like,
wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's not like they're like early models, but they're still like models of like Kimberly, Red Brown, Blue Mountain. No worse pink, no worse pink, no the black, no Midori. But
Boo.
yeah, it's like crazy. Like we're over here looking in these and we're finding like old like files, old textures. Like there's if I'm remembering correctly, Ren Yamazaki did the art in three with the Bishop cutscenes where they kind of look like Dr. Slump characters. And there's an
Oh
illustration
yeah.
of Worst Pink in there, and she's in that art style. I'm like, what? She's so cute.
That's great. That would have been
Yes.
great. For people who don't
Yeah.
know, Worst Pink is, how do we describe her? She's a quiz giving nurse who's on your ship with you. Is that?
Yeah, she's like this game's what? Kumate? Is that the term? Because it's like the 100 question quiz from
Yeah.
Silver Case, but
Yeah.
it's all about love.
Yeah. And this game is about love, do you think? My take, knowing that Suda's plans had to get squashed. And I
Yeah.
don't know if Juliet, for spoilers, folks, but Juliet to Romeo is sort of the antagonist and also the curiosity throughout. And he's always wondering if he can master his relationship with her, but she's ever changing because there's all these multiverse versions of her. And she's always like trying to kill him as a monster that she mutates into. So
Yeah.
it's a interesting, some would say it's a reflection of a guy who's struggling with romantic relationships because Romeo is really not able to master that. But that's not Suda. Suda and his wife, from what I know, get along great, and there's no concerns there. But Suda does have this tendency to use the women in his male protagonist games to kind of symbolize the things that are befuddling him in life. And I think initially
Hmm.
he felt like this real love with NetEase. It was like a beautiful romance. And then it turned into a tragedy. Like initially, if you go back and read the interviews, he's like, they're just telling us to do whatever we want. We're going to make like 3 games. It's like endless budget. It's party time. This is the best it's ever been. And then hey guys, we're self-publishing. Thank you, NetEase, but goodbye, essentially, because they essentially cut them off from what I know. So I feel like Romeo's relationship with Juliet is about Suda's relationship with NetEase and trying to figure out, are we partners and you love me, or are you a monster and you're gonna destroy me? And it's still left somewhat ambiguous in a very pseudo way. But yeah, what was your take on what the game had to say about love and relationships and whatever else is going on?
Ooh. Ooh.
Um,
I think you're onto something with that. I think you're onto something with that.
Maybe, who knows? I look into things. Suda has looked me right in the face and said, just stop. You're looking, and you know, sometimes a dog is just a dog. Why do you think the black hole or the Big Bang or there's not symbolism everywhere, Jonathan? He said to me, and
I
also,
gotta be a little shady. I do think some of the Suda fans they gotta take that and be like, yeah, it's just what it is.
yeah, it was
Oh
just a
my
wacky
goodness.
idea he had, and I don't think, by the way, that he's consciously picking all these things up and using them to be symbolism. I think he just goes with his gut. But there are
hmm.
tons of times when he has been like, yeah, that's what, especially with his older games. I think when he was
Oh yeah.
younger, he was really intentional about some of the symbolism, and these days he's just going wild. But anywho, yes, your thoughts. What do you think it all means?
No, I don't know.
I feel like I haven't had like I know it's been a month. For me, it's been very recent since I've come to the conclusion of this game. So I feel like I still need a little bit more time to digest it. But I mean, from what I saw, I liked everything. I did like our story, I liked our characters. It's one of those things where I really have to sit down and I have to pick it apart. Will I
Sure.
pick it apart to the extent that I did with No More Heroes? I can't say that for sure, but I
Yeah.
think there's definitely something there.
Well, tell me, what do you think the differences are between this and No More Heroes? I guess the most blatant of which being that Travis is such a tribute parody to nerds, and
Hmm.
Romeo is a lot more of a blank slate, I feel like. And it's more about using him as an avatar to get into this world. And yet he's also a guy who gets bit by a zombie almost immediately and then goes through like a hideous transformation into being a non-cannibalistic walking dead throughout the whole thing.
Hmm.
So that's got to mean something. So, comparing and contrasting, what do you think it is about No More Heroes that got its hooks into you? And likewise, what is it about Romeo as a dead man that attracts you and interests you, but doesn't sound like the hooks are as in as they were
Like,
for
yeah,
you?
not fully in.
Not fully in.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really say this for myself, but I feel like I can speak on this as just a general fandom observation. I feel like it's a lot easier for just the general internet populace and people who like No More Heroes, etc., pseudo games. It's easier for people to project onto Travis because I always hear that sentiment echoed all the time. Oh my God, I'm just like Travis. He's just like me. He's just like me. But I haven't ever seen anybody say that about Romeo. I feel like
Hmm.
Romeo as a character might be a little bit more difficult to kind of get a read on, I guess, for lack of a better word, which is funny because you have Romeo who's chasing Juliet, and Juliet's even harder to get a read
Hmm.
on. So it's like, I don't know, from an outsider looking in, trying to get into these characters' brains and like pick at them, it's not too easy, I
Hmm.
would say.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Is it too similar, you think, where Travis is befuddled by Sylvia and Romeo's befuddled by Juliet, but there isn't the same like sense of lightheartedness. I think for me that's one of the biggest differences. No More
Hmm.
Yeah.
Heroes has like its comedy on its sleeve where it's
Yes.
absurd and he's, doing this motion with the Wii remote and anything. Whereas Romeo
Hmm.
is like, I take my job very seriously and I want to help, like he's so sweet and earnest.
Yeah.
That's maybe a little bit less easy for people to pick up on him as a person, as you're saying, but also just feel
Hmm.
like, oh, he's like a cool dork. Romeo is more
Yeah.
like a straight-laced dork, I guess. He's just like a true dork.
Hmm.
And he gets
Oh,
made fun of by Midori at least a little bit. She people refuse to call him by his preferred name and stuff like that. Like he's the butt of their jokes a little bit more.
yeah, they
Yeah.
like forget that he's dead man and will be like, oh, hi Romeo. Ooh, I mean dead man. Oopsies. Like, ah, I really do like that about Romeo. Like, I don't obviously like Romeo as much as I like Travis, but I do like Romeo in that he's such a big sweetheart. He's a
Mhm.
sweetheart compared to Travis because Travis is Travis, but Romeo's Romeo. And I do like that. And I will say, like, there's times in the story where I'm like, Romeo, get your head out of your ass, please.
Please.
You up
That's
like
another thing too, I think, where I feel like both Travis and Romeo are characters that are very earnest and they say what they mean, but the way they say things or what they're talking about comes off in very different ways.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
I
that makes a
feel
lot of
like
sense.
Romeo's a little more naive. Well, they're both naive, but they're naive in different ways that I don't have the word for it right now and it's bothering me.
No, I thought let me help. I think I get you because
Mm,
you're putting it really well. Travis is like a guy who is raised by video games, the occasional movie, a lot of movies actually, Takashi Miike, and some pornography
hmm.
is where I was going, the occasional adult movie. But he doesn't really
Hmm.
know anything about dating or love. He doesn't know how to connect with people. He's just living life like it's a video game, that kind of naive. Whereas Romeo is like, I really believe if I do the right thing and I care and I like tell Juliet, like, no, please come on, let's make this work, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's like kind of he's almost a normal guy, which is I think why we're having trouble relating with him because we're all pretty weird.
Yeah.
He's like maybe Suda's most normal dude in some ways, like loves
The
his
most normal
family.
guy in the
Yeah,
most oddest of situations.
that's
I
right.
feel arguably this is like the craziest we've well, no, there's different.
Hey,
Yeah.
I hear you. I think that it is just I think in terms of an explainable premise, it might be the craziest. Like No More
Hmm.
Heroes, the premise is for the first two games, this is a guy who bought a lightsaber off eBay and now he's fighting other assassins. And then the third game, aliens showed up, so he's gonna fight them kind of like how he fought the assassins.
Mhm.
Romeo's a Dead Man is they're zombies. Deadberg? Is that the name of the
And we're
place?
in space and a
Yeah.
town has disappeared in between time and space and
Yeah, multiverse and pixel art, spaceship and sudden like motion comics and pixel art when the TV shows up. Do they ever explain the guy having the meal, the weird pixel meals before you go to
What?
subspace? Who is that guy? Did I
That's
miss
the
that?
director of the FBI.
Oh,
And
it is. I missed
yeah,
that.
because there's the little TSA section in the last like section, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm JEH," and then Romeo's like, "You're the dude that's been in the TV this whole time," and then they had like their little chit chat and whatnot. But
Wait,
yeah,
it's JH?
JEH, because I'm pretty sure he's like inspired by J. Edgar Hoover.
Oh, right. Yeah, so for
Oh,
those who don't know, I'm sure everyone watching or listening to this already loves Grasshopper, or else they would have left a long time ago. But there is a whole section where it becomes like the text adventure of Travis Strikes Again, which was also No More Heroes 3. It very much connects with that. And it does. I almost wonder if this game would have sold better if they did go out and say like it's a No More Heroes side story because it is not directly related to No More Heroes, but Midori's in there and the gameplay is similar enough and that TSA section, as you talked about, is similar enough. Midorikawa is a character who was in No More Heroes 3, for those who don't know. So it's and she's a social worker now. And she's like kind of mean. What's going on?
she's fun. I do like her in this game. I like the little interaction she has with Romeo at the beginning when you have to get stuff signed by her. And I do think the text with her where she's like talking about soccer players with Romeo because they're a little like trivia quiz. But I like that. I will say, I wish there was more like moments in the story where you got to interact with Midori because I
Mm.
love the crumbs
Yeah.
we got. I want more.
Yeah, I know. I think he wants to give us more too. I really feel like this game would have been different
Hmm.
had the original vision been met and the original budget been given. But
Ah,
I hear you 100%. I have to wonder too if this feels like the game is done for you, or did you get the sense that he wanted to make more game, or do you want more game from him? Like, do you feel like this is enough Romeo is a dead man, or do you feel like they were just getting started?
I made a joke about this last night actually because we were just recapping cutscenes, is that's what I'll call it. But the scene at the very end where we go into a full like anime, like Gundam style thing with Luna fighting Romeo, all that. I just sat there in silence watching that and I waited for it to end. And I just said in our call, I was like, Suda, you can just say you want to make anime instead. You can you can take a break from the games. If you want to make an anime, we could do that. I think we'll be all right with that. Um, but
Yeah, I
for like
wonder. Mm,
post game, I mean, I don't want to say that I was left unsatisfied because I wasn't, but I felt like our story just kind of sort of concluded, but with not necessarily a good or bad end. Like it just
mhm.
sort of stopped. And I don't have complaints about that. I don't mind it. If anything, I think I like it.
Yeah, in that way, it feels a little bit, and so much of the stuff on the ship too just has more of this flower, sun, and rain vibe where the journey is the destination. Like just being there with the characters and having the weird
Hmm.
interactions is the story. And of course, Flower, Sun, and Rain has a great sort of twist at the end, but it's not like I didn't leave it feeling like, oh, and that's the end of that guy's story. Now I get it. It was still left very much like,
Yeah.
and now what? And it's sort of like that's all we got for now. Buy our next game and see what we
Hmm.
come up with next time. They don't, in general, I'm thinking more on it now. Some people felt this way about No More Heroes 2 ending too, where I guess I can spoil it. Travis
It's
falls
been
out
long
of
enough.
a out of a skyscraper and then just gets saved at the last second from hitting the floor, and that's all you find out really about the rest of his story. No More Heroes 1 famously ending on just a big battle and them saying, "It's never ending. Life is always a struggle. Goodbye." And like, what?
Hmm.
That's 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 the end as you fight forever. So I guess it's in line with those prior endings. And yet, I don't know, for me anyway, I just had this nagging feeling that he wanted to make more game. I felt this way about No More Heroes
Hmm.
3 too.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much I felt unsatisfied, it's that my feeling was that he might have felt unsatisfied with what
Yeah.
he was able to
Hmm.
release.
Yeah.
Do you think the fandom is going to pick up Romeo's a Dead Man cosplay and kind of want to embody the characters in the same way? I personally felt from a like marketing perspective, even though Romeo is super cool looking in the game, uh, you can't cosplay him by just buying some aviators and a red coat. Like if you're gonna
Yeah.
do the jacket, you've got to get a like a full-on patch of his grandpa on the back, and the
Hmm.
mask is totally intricate. And
yeah.
Juliet, most of her scenes where she's not a disgusting like zombie beast, she's just kind of a normal looking, extremely clean, sort of high class looking person. So like, how do
Yes.
you even cosplay these folks or fan art them?
I think it's possible. I mean, you got like
Hmm.
people cosplaying Gundams, and
Hmm.
that's always such a treat to see. Holy
Yes. I think
moly.
it's just finding the people or having people who find this game who are willing to commit the amount of time and effort to
Mhm.
do something like that,
Yeah,
as
because
far as like mask building and all that.
Hmm.
there was I remember someone was selling a life-sized patch of Benjamin. I
Oh
don't know if
wow.
they're still selling it, but it was like decently priced too. I didn't get it because I'm like, I'm not too into the game, and I'm like, I wouldn't have anywhere to put this giant patch of Benjamin. Ah, but there was that, and then I know that Sal, who sent the Shinobu figure to Grasshopper, he was doing 3D prints of Romeo's mask as well. And this was like before the game even came out.
Oh,
I think he
wow.
was like making one. And I was making a low poly model, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait till the game comes out so I can like look at this helmet. But
Mhm.
yeah, and I know they put the model of that in the Killer 7 because Killer 7 is Sal's thing for sure.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Mhm.
this is really cool
Yes.
to see. But yes, 100%, I feel like if people put in the effort, if there's someone that's willing to put in the effort, I would love to see a Romeo cosplay. Please, I would love
Yes,
to
I
see
would
one.
like that
It
too.
would look
I'm
really cool. It would look really
I'm
cool.
on
I'm
the
sorry.
fence about it. No, you're good. You're good. I'm on the fence about it, but since we are planning to go to MomoCon, I know for sure that I'm going as Sylvia, but I did have plans to put together a Juliet. I'm
Oh,
still
that'd be so
still
cool.
debating on that, but
Which is harder
uh,
to put together, you think?
neither.
I
Neither. They
I think
their
cosplay's hard.
clothing is very not difficult to acquire. And I mean, as much as I wish I knew how to sew and all that, and so I can really get things accurately, I'm not too worried about it.
No, you'll look great. I'm looking forward to
Thank
it.
you.
So, what do you think Grasshopper should do next? My personal opinion is that ever since they've started making games, really with No More Heroes 3, but even Shadows of the Damned, where the character models look like they're going for more realism, I feel like people don't read their games as the kind of special outliers that they are, like they did back in No More Heroes 1 and Killer 7, where that cell shaded, real stylistic look communicated to people right away, like you're in for a unrealistic ride. I do think it's been a little bit of a mistake that they've gone for more like normal looking regular human beings in a lot of their games. I also think they should go all in with something that looks just totally indie. Like the parts of Romeo is a Dead Man that resonate with me most visually are just being a pixel art guy running around on a
Yeah.
ship and talking to little portraits. I love all of that stuff. So that's my thoughts. What do you think they should do next?
I've seen the clips from MomoCon when you guys showed off the Dead Man game. The Dead Man game
Oh,
had the Death Man game. There's a
death.
difference. Like I, I definitely want to see more games like that.
Hmm.
I know
Yes.
that like
Yes.
a game like Romeo, again, really, really high budget. If I'm remembering correctly, this was their most expensive game yet.
Mm.
I would love to see like smaller projects from them that are like more in line like that Deathman styled game. Like I
Hmm.
want to see more wacky pixel art stuff as well. But I cannot lie, I do think the model work in Romeo, like the character models look really good. Like
Yeah.
this is a crazy step up from 3. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
over here like going from No More Heroes 3 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like the cell shading. A lot of people don't. And I'm like, I get why. But then I'm like, Travis looks a little weird in this game. He looks a little chopped. And then you go to Romeo and I'm like, oh my gosh, these look really good.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Good on them.
I'm like, I'm not a hater. I definitely can't be like, oh, I hate that they went with the realistic stuff. I'm like, it's fair. It's,
Yeah, I like it. I think that just doesn't communicate to the
yeah.
masses quickly enough. Like, what am I getting here? Like, they need to let people know right off the bat. This is more like something in an avant-garde art show than it is like, Call of Duty or Last of Us or something. So that, and how about you, Cherry? What do you think they should do next?
Can I give a joking answer?
Yes, of course.
Give us a dating sim.
Why is it a joke?
Everyone.
That is such a
Everyone.
good idea. I think they should make a totally, a classic silver case style text adventure, except it's
Absolutely.
all of the characters you know and love, and or the ones they can't get the rights to. Just like
Mhm.
throw. I'm trying to remember what Juliet Starling was called with the Mappy T-shirt and TSA because they couldn't get the rights. Chesterfield, I think.
I think
What Juliet
so.
Chesterfield? All right, it's just put them all in
Yes.
there. Let us interact with everybody. Let us get the writing from Suda that we love so much, and surprise us with how those interactions are going to go. I
Yes.
know Suda thinks he gave me a towel that says "extremely violent video game band Grasshopper," and I'm like, yes, and also like totally weird dialogue characters I never could have imagined existed just talking to each other band. Like I love that about your games too. It doesn't always have to be action for me and Grasshopper anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed. Oh my goodness. Because
I know
Oh,
we've
I'm
joked about it. We're like, no, please, we don't need an MCU of Suda games, but like actually maybe. Actually
yeah,
maybe. It might be
get them all
funny.
connected. It's super fun.
As long
This
as it's not taken seriously, I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be the right mix of suddenly scary sometimes, then suddenly totally heady and like symbolic, and then suddenly like, you know, you look nice in those pants, sir. What? You know what I'm talking about. Like he'd throw some of those in there for sure. And I'd love it. We're almost out of time. Anything you want to say before we close up?
Oh gosh.
Hmm.
You're going
Uh
to MomoCon. You've got an
yes.
amazing collection of No More Heroes stuff that I'm gonna ask Daniel to edit this and show us all this beautiful things you've got. That's so cool. Wondering, hoping that we can make some Romeo's Dead stuff to add to those collections someday for the
Yes,
larger
yes.
Grasshopper fandom. And people should look for you at MomoCon. Or are you just gonna be dressing up and hanging out? Or are you planning on selling any wares? Or what are you gonna do?
I think we're just walking around checking
Yeah.
stuff out. We're just gonna be there.
I hope
Yup.
We're planning
Izzy.
like loose
Mm-hmm.
cosplays. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
hope you bring some stuff to give out to the fans, though. Let me know if you want me to print out a
Oh,
bunch of your stuff with my color printer and mail it to you so you can autograph because you're a beloved artist in this world and you're only going to get bigger and better. But people got to see you and grab your things because the
Yes,
internet is
yes.
so hard to rise to the top of people's attention spans and what they're focusing on. So that's going to be great. Yeah, but anyway, I'm sorry. Anything else before you close?
um, well,
Mm.
with the collection stuff, my copy of the Outer Rim made it. And I'm like,
Mm.
ah,
Hmm.
The No More Heroes jazz album.
yes, very
Yes.
happy to get that one. Only one I could even find that was on sale too. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it, we'll get it because it's like the last one I really need because I don't think I'll
Yes.
ever find anyone selling the
And
Dr.
it's
Seuss mini album at all.
Oh, I have that somewhere.
What?
Yeah, I have that somewhere. I gotta look in the basement. Uh,
But I'm like,
wait,
yeah, no, I
if you two get married, I promise that is going to be your wedding present. I can do that.
Oh.
I can do that.
Oh well, we have to do it.
Send me the date. I'll be there with my
Oh,
Romeo cosplay instead of a tuxedo, and I'll
my
grant
gosh.
you your
Yes.
gift.
Lovely.
Izzy, Cherry, so wonderful to
Yes.
have you on. Hopefully you're back again soon.
Yes.
Yes.
I would love to. I'd love to.